Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is November the 28th, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to stay warm out here in these cold, cold streets. I feel like it is we've officially switched into winter mode. Like we've been having like a little nice fall vibes, and I feel like the cold temperatures haven't been that cold. Excuse me, excuse me. But now things are doing the opposite of heating up. They are heating down, and I don't like it. But it is what it is. Work was interesting. I guess we'll do a little gabbing about work. So today was a training day, not for me. I essentially was the Denzel to the Ethan Hawke in the situation, if you're keeping up with the training day metaphor here. And they gave me a trainee, you can say, and this person I think would more or less be working on Sunday or like if and when I'm off on like overlapping shift days, what have you. But this person doesn't speak any English at all, like zero. And I'd done a quick run through with this person last week. Said like, oh, this is what this button does, and then someone translated that for me. And this time we're just doing this like no more training wheels. But luckily, this person was a really hard worker. And instead of it being like a really hard time, it was actually quite the opposite. We got done like so early in the day. It was like before even like my lunch break, we had like filled up the crusher together, and I was like, okay, how do I explain to this guy that there's no more work? And that was really the hardest thing, was explaining like, hey man, we did such a good job, you did such a good job that yeah, there's nothing more to do. He kind of got the message eventually. We kind of worked that out, but yeah, I mean, it was a very interesting day for sure. But now we're here. Oh, food corner. Food corner. I went to go get gas, and then I was like, "Hey, let's just go get beer for the week. Let's do that." And then I just told myself, you know what? I've been such a good boy, this whole season, and for like 2 seasons, I've been so good. You know what I mean? And I said, you know what? I'm going to grab me a pack of Sour Patch Kids. So I did. And not just any pack of Sour Patch Kids, the Sour Patch Kids Extreme. And they were, I think, a little stale. So that was a little bit of a bummer. I've only eaten a handful of them. But like I equate Sour Patch Kids to drugs in almost every single way, and like, don't get me wrong, you're always excited to get your crack, but like, when it's been stepped on real hard, when this shit is dirt, and like it's kind of like whatever, it's not the good, but you're gonna take it anyway. You know what I mean? That's akin to what this is. I mean, it's still good. It's still Sour Patch Kids. It's still hidden. But like, I wanted that, like, when you open the pack, it's just like so frosted. There's just so much like crystals on there. Oh, so good. When you bite that shit, it's like gonna feel like Mike Tyson punched you in the cheek. That's what I want. And I know that I'm not getting it out of this bag. So it just is what it is. We rally, we live. I'm gonna munch them, and then keep up with the great work. I am glad that I got through Thanksgiving so well. I'll take it. Now we really just have like, we technically do have two, right? We have Christmas and we have New Year's. I feel like Christmas is the real one. Christmas dinner is so easy for me to go ham, quite literally. But I mean, also, New Year's is also, it can be really tricky and treacherous because it's just so many good snacks. You go to the right party, you know what I mean? But who knows? I might not even get an invite for a New Year's party, and I might like it that way. All right, enough about me gabbing about my own life and bullshit. Let me do my startup, and then we will get into some news. I have some good news, I have some annoying news, and I have some news that made me mad. We'll sort all that out. Um, Actually, not bad. The news made me laugh. It made me laugh. They did not make me mad. Some of it did make me mad. I don't, we'll get there. You'll know what's what. I'll sort it all out. I promise. I promise. All right. From The Independent. All 41 workers rescued from collapsed tunnel in India after 17 days. So, woohoo, let's go. All 41 workers have been rescued from a tunnel in India after being trapped for more than 2 weeks. The workers became stuck in the tunnel on November 12th when a landslide caused a portion of a 2.8 tunnel they were building in Uttarakhand state to collapse about 20 meters or 650 feet from the entrance. They survived on food and oxygen supplied through narrow steel pipes for 17 days. Now, essentially, they were able to get a group of miners that they called rat miners. I believe there was like 17 of them, if I'm not mistaken, if I can find them in the article. Actually, I'm just getting that number wrong. But there was a group that they called rat miners, and essentially, yeah, okay. The breakthrough in the 17 days of struggle to free the men came as rat hole mining work commenced on Monday to manually drill and clear debris to reach the trapped workers. 24 rat hole miners arrived from Delhi and Jhansi cities to enter the tunnel and dig it manually after an auger drilling machine broke down multiple times. Now, the reason this drill had broke down, I mentioned in a previous episode, was it was against the mountainous terrain, but also on top of that, there was construction work from, the drilling in, previously that was still there that was also making this even harder on the equipment. So that is why, the rat hole miners just were just super good at this because they dig through coal and they have like a whole hazardous kind of thing, but they're a whole crack team when it comes to mining. So, they were just able to help out in a really big way. It is also said, I learned this today, that, or maybe I had heard it and it just kind of slipped in my mind, because in a lot of the situation, especially while people are still trapped, that's the focus. We're not really so much trying to point fingers and say who did what happened here, what caused this. But there was, talk about, well, was this even necessary? This was a really cool PR stunt in terms of making this a tunnel thing, because it was going to connect all these shrine areas so that it was going to make commute a lot better and easier for people. But people were saying, for the location where it's at, is this even a good idea? Can we even make this happen? And then also on top of safety, a big issue here, there was no exit tunnel, which is apparently a very a normal classic thing that you would do. And once you hear someone say that, you go, yeah, what the fuck? Why was there no exit tunnel made? And it's that's a cut corner thing. That's definitely something that somewhere up top, either, the people overseeing this project or whatever, they dropped the ball here. So, we'll see who's held accountable and whatnot, when, everything is fully sorted once we're, the jubilation is past. But at the same time, obviously, let's be happy. This is some good fucking news. It's good that these people really did get out, before Christmas, and that they get to their families, because people were happy that, okay, these guys are unharmed. We can get food and oxygen to them. But that they were stuck for so long, every day was just making it worse on the families, obviously on the people who were stuck. So this was just really big. And good to start off with a banger. Yay. Nice and wholesome good news. So there's that. This is the news that definitely made me mad, definitely annoyed me. From NBC News. Sandy Hook families offer to settle Alex Jones's $1.5 billion legal debt for a minimum of $85 million. Sandy Hook families who won nearly $1.5 billion in legal judgments against conspiracy theorist Alex Jones for calling the 2012 Connecticut shooting a hoax have offered to settle that debt for only pennies on a dollar, at least $85 million over 10 years. The offer was made in Jones's personal bankruptcy case in Houston last week. In a legal filing, lawyers for the families said they believed the proposal was a viable way to help resolve the bankruptcy reorganization cases of both Jones and his company, Free Speech Systems. Now they still condemn what he did, all the bullshit he said, like about these motherfuckers being crisis actors and this is all fake and it's all fucking make believe by the government because they want to take away your guns and making the frogs gay. All this fucking bullshit that this man barely had the fucking heart to even show up in court. Instead, he wanted to be on his fucking InfoWars show talking shit about whoever the fuck was in the room instead of being a real one and fucking going into court and standing on your goddamn business. Sorry, I love that phrase. I cannot stop using it. But, you know, instead, he's just like, oh, now that he's found guilty, instead, all he can do is say, oh, okay, well, we're going to file an appeal. We're going to go through this. I'm being wrongly persecuted, yada, yada, yada. And then he's talking about how, oh, poor Alex, I don't have the money. I don't have the means to even facilitate this. It's so unreasonable. With his fucking pockets out. Blah, fuck him. So, I mean, it's a shame that these families, and this is why I'm mad, because at the end of the day, these families just want, you know, the justice. At the end of the day, that's what this is about. It's just saying, hey, man, we gotta hit these pockets. It's the only way. It's the only way to fucking, you know, teach this motherfucker a lesson, truly. And it's annoying that, like, we're stuck in this, like, legal debate of, like, whether or not he even has to, like, pay this 1.5 billion. Like, is that egregious? Is that's, like, beyond the pale? But then he's even debating, like, well, I can't even pay this. Like, essentially his legal team saying, like, well, he only makes X amount of money, so, like, he can't even pay this 85 million over 10 years. Like, he just can't do that. Sorry. Meanwhile, this dude's making a hell of fucking money. I know I'm about to lose it here. Let's see if I can read this section. Under the bankruptcy case orders, Jones has been receiving a salary of $20,000 every 2 weeks, or $520,000 a year. But this month, a court-appointed restructuring officer upped Jones's pay to about $57,700,000 bi-weekly, or $1.5 million a year, saying he has been grossly underpaid for how vital he is to the media company. So essentially just upping his fucking money allowance, saying like, oh, well, he's actually being under fucking valued. It's like, motherfucker, he shouldn't be making this much money. He shouldn't be making any money for this fucking bullshit that he's trying to sell to people. All these fucking garbage ass supplements and all this fucking bullshit ass fucking, I don't know, battle tents or whatever the fuck dumb shit he's trying to cook up. But you know what? If these fucking saps, if these fucking lemmings want to buy, by all fucking means, buy into the grift. Sail on, you fucking space cadet. Like, whatever. But that being said, that money then should be going to the Sandy Hook victims. Like, that should be going to the families that have to actually suffer and actually have to deal with this fucking bullshit. Like, I definitely have not gone into enough details to really, like, paint the picture of how bad Alex Jones has just been to people, like, who have to go through this kind of shit. And not to mention how hard he just ensconces himself in this belief and pushes it out onto people who then go out and be super weird to these like actual victims, these families, like coming up into their homes, doing and saying the most unhinged shit to them. It throws me for a fucking loop that this guy's still allowed just to keep cranking, just keep doing what he's doing. Like that is his goddamn American right, brother. And it's like it's crazy to me that guys like this are just not locked up. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, man. But hey, that's where we are with it. Judge Christopher Lopez rejected the $1.5 million salary, essentially his new allowance. And, you know, there's going to be a hearing about that. We'll see. I mean, it seems like he's not even going to go, like I said, for that $85 million settlement, which is literally, like I said, like it said in the article, pennies on the dollar, bro. Like, you're getting a deal for the bullshit that you caused, man. Like, it's just crazy that this man won't accept any of this shit. And who knows, maybe he even gets it lowballed even further. And I just hate to see motherfuckers like this win in any fucking way, man. Fuck this hairy ass fucking piece of shit, man. I fucking, ugh. Tomato Town. Send him there. The tomato gulag. Yes. If I were a king, that's what I would make. And I don't know why I'm you know, my fucking Nuremberg is a Fortnite fucking hellscape, but I feel like it's fitting. And I like it. Anyway, let's move on to the next beat. I know I'm just fucking in the fucking clouds right now. From NBC News, we're double dipping, actually triple dipping. The next one's gonna be from there too. Alex Murdaugh I never get his name right. Alex Murdaugh sentenced to 27 years in state financial crimes case. So this is another Alex Murdaugh update. The con man, the killer. I feel like I can say these things officially. I don't have to say allegedly anymore. And you know what? This is a man. This is a family, a dynasty family that have like plagued podcasters. Not me particularly. This is before I even got into the game. But I remember like hearing about people would like talk about this guy, about this family, like they were Voldemort. You know what I mean? Like this guy could like, because he would sue you. He was a fucking lawyer. This is a crime, like a dirty lawyer who was just down to fucking silence your ass for talking any kind of shit about the fucking family. Don't you dare say shit about Buster. It's a family member, Buster Murdaugh, whatever. But let's dig in a little bit. Let's do this update. One by one, former clients and their representatives scolded disgraced South Carolina lawyer and convicted killer Alex Murdaugh at his sentencing hearing Tuesday on nearly 24 counts of financial crimes, accusing him of exploiting their personal relationships and most vulnerable moments to steal money they were rightfully owed. So there's like, a lot of testimonials and stuff like that. We're going to kind of hit riff mode here. But a lot of people spoke up and got to say their piece to him. But essentially, Murdaugh is accused of cheating the estate of Satterfield's mother, Gloria Satterfield, which is his maid, and that's a whole fucking thing there. But like whether or not they were involved in said death or what have you, but he then says, hey, like, we're going to work this out. We're going to make sure, like, he was talking, like, to the family, like, we're going to make sure you're good and you're going to get your money. But essentially, he just grifted on them. And it's like, my mom, like, died in your home. And, like, you're taking advantage of now the family, bro? Like, it's just crazy. Now, Murdaugh, he blames this on a 20-year opioid addiction. I'm sure that's definitely a part of it. But, I mean, I think this man is just built for the grift. I think he's just a fucking real ass con man through and through. And he took his power, he took his influence, and he just wielded it. He just wielded it like a fiery fucking sword. And it's definitely finally caught up with him. He's got 2 life sentences for the death of his wife and one of his children, which many believe he used, like, he, like, went, like, family annihilator mode, but, like, to do it as a distraction from the crimes that he was being, like called out on. Like I said, he was literally trying to, like, sue podcasters out of existence just so that they wouldn't cover the shit. You know what I mean? But you couldn't keep all this shit down, man. It was just only a matter of fucking time. And I believe these sentences are going to run, like, concurrently or whatever. But, did I read the whole thing? I don't know. I might have spaced out here. He agreed this month to plead guilty to 22 counts of financial crimes, including money laundering, fraud, and breach of trust related to the Satterfield estate and other schemes perpetrated over more than a decade. So yeah, I mean, he just cheated out so many people. If it wasn't a family friend, if it wasn't a coworker, if it wasn't someone he just knew or like, a client, he was just grifting everyone, any and all times, dude. So much shit. And I mean, I know my podcast is not doing this story justice. I'm definitely not putting, the right amount of stank on it for sure. But, I just couldn't help, but I can't help but talk about this guy's downfall. And I'm glad that happened, but it's a shame that there's so many bodies and there's so many just screwed over people from this man, from this family. And, no amount of money, no amount of quote unquote justice, throwing a man in jail, that doesn't make it right. It doesn't okay it. It doesn't circle the fucking square. You know what I mean? But, all I can say is it is what it is. And, hey, I'm gonna be here to talk about it. So any more updates, I'll be there. But anyway, let's close this thing out. This is my funny story. It's a little bit more. I mean, it's heavy duty. It's all work, no play around here for sure. But the heart of a child. I don't know. let me take my break and then we'll cover this last bit from NBC News. Okay. Excuse me. Child driving, stolen construction forklift leads Ann Arbor police on chase. A 12-year-old boy driving a stolen construction vehicle led police in Michigan on an hour-long chase, striking about 10 parked vehicles in the process, the Ann Arbor Police Department said. The vehicle, a construction genie GTH 636 telehandler, equipped with a forklift and weighing up to 35,000 pounds, was stolen from outside Forsyth Middle School using a key found in the cab, police said. So apparently this kid was just like, you know what? This is it. This is my GTA moment. This is my Fortnite moment. Like, I know that I'm not forklift certified, but in my heart, I can operate this vehicle. And the kid just hops in. Now, the kid isn't identified. They're a minor, but they were sent to juvenile detention after their little joyride. But, it sucks that definitely there was, property damaged for sure. To paraphrase the cops, essentially, no, I'll just read it. He's lowering the hooks. Don't go in front of the forklifts. I don't know why that got me. But he's going with the knives out. He's going with the forks out. And just these cops just not knowing what to do. And I also, in my head, I'm just like, I'm teleported to Michigan, and I'm thinking like this is like the Bronco chase, like the OJ Bronco chase. Instead of the white Bronco, it's just this fucking genie just like meandering around the street, like just some kid just having the time of his life. Oh man. So yeah, I just wanted to cover it there. I mean, I know it's a serious story, and but I'm glad no one got hurt at the end of the day. So yeah, that's where we'll leave it. Let's see. I do have a Patreon if you'd like to help out, support. Patreon.com/Isaiah News if you'd like to become a newsie today. I shout you out at the top of the month. I dub thee a newsie. Plug a project if you'd like. And then let's see here. Free ways to hit me up. IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. And then feel free to follow me, converse with me on the socials if you find me there, if you want to get at me there. But please, would you kindly subscribe to the YouTube? That really helps out a lot. I'm always trying to get those numbers up. And please comment. Please leave a thumbs up. And if not on the YouTube, whatever listening apparatus you're, hearing me on right now, it really does help out a ton. And it does a world of good, at least, in my world. But yeah, that's all we have for today. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love you. Bye-bye. Mwah.